Palantir's next move higher could start within the next few trading days. As long as a few things play out, there is a high probability that Palantir will start its next move upward. We're going to talk about what could cause that next move higher in the stock price and when that might start to happen in this video. But first, before we get into all that, if you're new here, I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloud6way.com. I'm also a stock market investor. And most importantly for this video, I'm a Palantir shareholder. If you're a returning subscriber, you definitely already know that. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. Drop a like on the video. Become one of those 2,800 or so subscribers. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's jump into the video. So Palantir could start to move higher within the next few days as long as a few things happen. The big reason for this is that Palantir is about to report their Q4 2023 and their full year 2023 results on Monday, February 5th, after the market closes. This is a stock that's been pretty much range bound after having an absolutely insane 2023. The big reason for the move up in 2023 was because they flipped from being a money-losing company to a money-making company. They had negative net income and negative operating income at the beginning of 2023, and they flipped to positive net income and positive operating income, and even had the operating income eclipsed by Q3 of 2023. I'm excited to see where those operating income and net income numbers in Q4 of 2023, and that's what we'll get to see on Monday after the close. There's one other massive thing that could move Palantir stock higher, but before we talk about that, I want to back up to 2023 and talk about a different stock and talk about artificial intelligence stocks as a whole. So 2023 was a big year for artificial intelligence stocks, but a lot of the moves up in some of these AI names were really just hype based. But there was one stock in particular that had an absolutely insane jump in revenue in 2023, and as we all know, that stock was Nvidia. The stock was up over 350% in a 1 year span, and that's because they went from about 27 billion in revenue all the way up to 44.5 billion in revenue on a trailing 12-month basis. So to me, Nvidia absolutely deserved their crazy run in 2023 and the stock price up about 350%, like I said, and I believe Palantir also deserved what happened to them in 2023, which was an insane rise of over 160% on that 1 year span. But Palantir's rise wasn't due to massive revenue growth. In fact, Palantir's revenue growth was dropping in a major way in 2023, and this actually started at the end of 2022. Q1 was about 18%, Q2 was about 13%, and then Q3 was about 17%. That is well below what we wanted to see from Palantir, but what has to happen, and what I think we might see start to play out in Q4 of 2023, the earnings they're about to report on Monday, is a continuation of that re-acceleration of revenue growth. I hold the belief that 2023, as it relates to artificial intelligence, was the hardware boom, and 2024 and beyond is going to be the software boom. If that's true, and I'm correct on that, by the way, I'm not the only one that shares that view, but if I'm correct on that, we should start to see that in the numbers for Palantir. Yes, 2023 is the quarter they're reporting, but we should at least hear some guidance around increased revenue growth throughout 2024. If I'm correct that the hardware spend on AI in 2023 is going to lead to the software spend on AI in 2024, then we should start to see that come out in the numbers in Palantir. In terms of what's expected from them, from 13 analysts covering the stock, 18.4% revenue growth in the quarter that just wrapped up, which would be Q4 of 2023, and then we're looking at 17.5% in the March quarter, which will be Q1 of 2024. I think for Q4 of 2023, a 19% revenue growth rate would be awesome to see, and a 20% would be even better. As long as Palantir still records GAAP profits on net income and operating income, which I'm near 100% sure they'll do, and I think we're going to see a very nice acceleration of the operating income once again in Q4 of 2023. As long as that happens, and we see revenue growth start to accelerate, I think Palantir could start its next move higher. We've kind of been in no man's land for a little bit with Palantir stock. It peaked out around 20. Now we're sitting somewhere in the 16s. But like I said, revenue growth is going to be that big driver for Palantir in 2024. If they're not able to come through with big time revenue growth and re-accelerate up into the low to mid 20s or even higher than that, I think it's going to be hard for Palantir to find that next leg up unless S&P 500 inclusion starts to get talked about more and more with Palantir. If that starts to happen, sure, that could be the other catalyst for Palantir to rise. But in the short term and in the medium term, I think it's all about those revenue growth rates. So the thing I'm going to have my eye on in a major way is revenue growth rates. Of course, I'm going to be checking for those GAAP net income numbers and the GAAP operating income numbers. But the big item for me in Q3 of 2024 is that revenue growth, and then the guidance on revenue growth for Q1 of 2024 and moving through all of 2024 2024. We'll see what kind of guidance they provide. That guidance is going to be a big piece of what could move Palantir up or down after earnings. I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't like to make huge predictions about what's going to happen, but I will say if the revenue growth rates are strong, I see Palantir rising in a massive way. And if the guidance is strong, I see Palantir rising in a massive way. If either guidance is down as it relates to revenue or the Q3 revenue comes in as a miss, I could see Palantir stock price moving down in a very heavy way. If Palantir stock does move down and we get a significant move down, I'd be interested in picking up more shares, specifically in one of my accounts around the $13 or $12 range. If we drop into 13 or 12, I'll be picking up more shares. Other than that, this is a large position for me. It's a top 5 holding, and I am very happy with my allocation, and I'm probably just a holder, especially if the stock starts moving higher in any major way. I'm already up very nicely on my shares. I think I'm just going to chill with my allocation unless, like I said, we drop in a major way down to the 13s or 12s. Even 12s I'm for sure buying. 13s I'll consider picking up more shares. Let me know what you think is going to happen with these revenue growth rates and the guidance for Palantir and what they're going to report on Monday after the bell. I want to hear if you're selling Palantir, buying Palantir, doing any options plays around earnings. What's your general outlook and feel on Palantir moving through 2024? I want to hear about it. Thank you so much for being here. Drop a comment down there. I want to get some conversation going on. Thanks for tuning in. Have an amazing day.